All right, I'm walking and talking, turning lights on as I go. A little dark in here. Let there be light. Anyway, Abby, is back with another question. She noticed this thing, so I like that. She noticed I've worn a couple of Lovecraftian shirts. Wearing one now. There's HP right there, baby. And I don't think she's seen this one. Unless she's been sneaking in my house looking in my closet. Anyway, she wanted to know, did HP Lovecraft have any influence on any of my horror writing? Which is an excellent, excellent question. Yes, definitely. When I was just a wee lad, yeah, I read some Lovecraft. So I read a lot of Robert E. Howard, a lot of fantasy. When I was a kid, in my early teens, huge Conan the Barbarian fan, but I liked all of it. And I remember picking up a paperback that had like essays and short stories, other things pertaining to Robert E. Howard, and some of his influences and some of the people who influenced him, blah, blah, blah. And how, he would correspond, with letters to all these other authors. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start reading some of these authors. And I started reading some more horror stuff. And I started reading Poe. And I'm not a poetry fan. So a lot of it was like, it's all right. But then short stories really got me going. Again, you're talking the early 80s. So there was no internets. There was no, there was nothing. You go to the bookstore, you go to the library. So I remember going to the library, and I remember they had, I looked for HP Lovecraft. The librarian was very nice. She helped me they actually had a horror section, which was really cool. And back then it just wasn't, here's 400 Stephen King books, and here's 400 Dean Koontz books, and good luck with these other 7 books, It was actually the classics. And I don't remember what book it is, but it was a collection of H.P. Lovecraft stories. And the very first one, opening the book, was Innsmouth. In my mouth. And I was hooked. I was hooked like 5 pages in. I was like, holy crap, creepy New England town. Something's going on. This guy's in trouble. And that was it. And then I just started reading anything and everything I could. And because there was no internet back there, I didn't realize, like a lot of authors from back in that day, the dude was really, really racist and kooky. And so I read all that stuff before I knew the personal side, which actually I'm glad I did, because that guy came out now, and here's a new horror author, Lovecraft, and he hates minorities. He hates pretty much everyone and everything. We would all just knock him off books of horror and basically cancel them. There you go. So, but yeah. So, definitely, I wrote some cosmic horror short stories when I was a teenager that were awful. Glad they will never see light of day. I'm glad I don't even have copies of them anymore. And I wrote a trilogy called Keyport Cthulhu, which is definitely my homage to Lovecraft. And it's, what if Cthulhu wasn't off the coast of, Rhode Island? What if he was off the coast of Keyport, New Jersey, which is a creepy little town that I lived in for a couple of years. They have a phenomenal Keyport fishery. Best seafood you will ever eat. But what if he was off the coast there and his followers lived in this town? And the town, when I lived there, back in the mid-90s, was really creepy. Okay? There were no chains. I mean, now they have a Dunkin' right in the middle of the town. There was just people who had lived there, fishermen. You're right on the water. There used to be boats and stuff right there. Now they fixed it all up real nice, and there's like a promenade and a walk. I gotta sit down. I'm tired. And so, basically, Keyport was really creepy. And, you visit it years later and you're like, maybe it wasn't that creepy. I don't know. I lived in a house that had used to be, I was renting a house that used to be a funeral parlor back in like the 1800s. And a lot of really crazy, spooky crap went on there. And somebody died in the house when I lived there. So maybe that's another story. But anyway, yeah, so Lovecraft definitely influenced my horror writing. And still does. I still write horror. I write mostly crime thrillers now. But I still like to do a horror short story. I still enjoy doing that. So, yeah, definitely HP Lovecraft. And again, I mean, they're all good. Some are much better than others. Some of them, now you read them and you're like, well, this is, like you would think, oh, I've read this a million times. But I'm like, no, this is the original of this. You know what I mean? And some of it, obviously, because of the time period it wrote, some of it's a little wordy. Some of it's a little odd, the words he used now. But great cosmic horror. Sorry for burping. Ooh. I had Cheez-It pizza today for lunch. My wife bought it. She's like, here, try this. Think it's something new. Wasn't all that great. It was all right. I wouldn't eat it again, but I mean, I ate it. I ate the whole pizza. So I'm fat. Speaking of that, Lovecraft, yes. So anyway, Abigail, Abby, still not comfortable calling you either of those. Ma'am, thank you for the question. Great question. And also for anybody out there who has a question for me, just drop it. Drop it on the YouTube. Drop it on the Patreon. And please follow me on YouTube. It's not going to kill you to hit the subscribe button. It's free. I'll follow you back. Let me know. I'll follow you back. I don't follow and then unfollow. I think that's sleazy and ridiculous. Or armandrosamilia@gmail.com. Just send me an email. And I will... any questions, and I will answer them here. I'm always looking for questions. Every Friday, I do this walk and talk, although right now I'm just kind of sitting. Get back to me on that. Thank you once again for listening, for watching these videos, for subscribing, yada, yada, and the yada.